Hello, this is Dr. Doe again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue the book of Isaiah. I'm going to continue to read. In that day, the Egyptians will be like women. They will shudder like fear, with fear at the unlifted hand that the Lord Almighty raises against them. And the land of Judah will bring terror to Egyptians. Everyone to whom Judah is mentioned will be terrified because of what the Lord Almighty is planning against them. In that day, 5 cities in Egypt will speak the language of Canaan and swear allegiance to the Lord Almighty. One of them will be called the City of Destruction. In that day, there will be an altar to the Lord in the heart of Egypt, and monument to the Lord at its border. It will be a sign and a witness to the Lord Almighty in the land of Egypt. When they cry out to the Lord because of their oppressors, he will send them a savior and defender, and he will rescue them. So the Lord will make himself known to the Egyptians. And in that day they will acknowledge the Lord. They will worship with sacrifice the Lord and grain offerings. They will make vows to the Lord and keep them. The Lord will strike Egypt with a plague, and he will strike them and heal them. They will turn to the Lord, and he will respond to their pleas and heal them. In that day there will be highways from Egypt to Assyria. Assyrians will go to Egypt, and the Egyptians to Assyria. The Egyptian and Assyrian will worship together. In that day Israel will be the third along Egypt and Assyria, a blessing on the earth. The Lord Almighty will bless them, saying, Blessed be Egypt, my people, Assyria, my handwork, and Israel, my inheritance. A prophecy against Egypt and Cush, chapter 20. In the year that the supreme commander sent by Sargon, king of Assyria, came to Ashdod and attacked and captured it. At that time the Lord spoke through Isaiah, son of Amoz. He said to him, Take off the sackcloth from your body and the sandals from your feet. And he did so, going around stripped and barefoot. Then the Lord said, Just as my servant Isaiah has gone stripped and barefoot for 3 years, as a sign and a portent against Egypt and Cush, so the king of Assyria will lead away stripped and barefoot the Egyptians captives and Cushians exiles, young and old, with buttocks bared to Egyptians' shame. Those who trusted in Cush and boasted in Egypt will be afraid and put to shame. In that day the people who live on this coast will say, See what has happened to those who rely on, those we fled to for help and deliverance from the king of Assyria. How then can we escape? Prophecy against Babylon, chapter 21. An oracle concerning desert by the sea. Like whirlwind sweeping through the southland, the invader comes from the desert, from a land of terror. A dire vision has been shown to me. The traitor betrays, the looter takes loot. Elam attack, Media lay siege. I will bring to the end all the groaning she caused. At this my body is racked with pain. Pangs seize me like those of women in labor. I am staggered by what I bear. I am bewildered by what I see. My heart falters. Fear makes me tremble. The twilight I longed for has become a horror to me. They set the tables, they spread the rugs, they eat, they drink. Get up, you officer, all you and the shields. This is what the Lord said to me. Go, post a lookout, and have him report what he sees. When he sees chariots with teams of horses, riders on donkeys, or riders on camels, let him be alert, fully alert. And the lookout shouted, Day after day, My Lord, I stand on watchtower. Every night I stay on my post. Look, Here comes a man in a chariot with a team of horses, and he gives back the answer, Babylon has fallen, has fallen. All the images of its God lies shattered on the ground. Oh my God, crushed on the threshing floor, I tell you what I have heard from the Lord Almighty, from the God of Israel. So this is part of chapter 1, and whole chapter 20 and a part of chapter 19. So these are the prophecies. So Isaiah considered as the prophecy in the Egypt history. I think it's probably about 500 BC. So probably 300 or 400 years later, compared to Samuel, who was another important historical people. And this Isaiah, from the chapter 19 and even before, it's all the prophecies to the neighbor nations, or sometimes, if you recall, they dwell in those nations, and sometimes they took over that land, or sometimes they were not. They were just dwelling among those people. And this is saying the prophecy against Egypt. So chapter 19 is the prophecy about Egypt. Did not say the time when this will happen, but this is what he saw. So the falling of the Egypt, and also the Egypt will worship the God along with them. And so in that day, Egyptian will be like a woman, subdued to the strong, to the man, I think. And the 5 cities will speak the language of Canaan, which where they dwelling at that time, and which also the God they believe promised the land of Canaan is the promise for them. So then in that day there will be a highway from Egypt to Assyria, and Assyria will go to Egypt, Egyptian to Assyria. So this is saying that Egypt is not the superpower anymore, can go to the neighbor of nations, and they exchange. And also chapter 20, prophecy against Egypt and Cush. Again, in the year of supreme commander sent by Sargon, king of Assyria, came to Ashdod, attacked and captured it. All that time the Lord spoke through Isaiah, son of Amoz. He said to him, take off the sackcloth from your body and the sandals from your feet. And then he did so, going around stripped and barefoot. And then the Lord said, just as my servant Isaiah has gone barefooted or stripped, and as a sign potent against Egypt and Cush. So this means the God will take down Egypt and Cush together. Previous chapter talking about Egypt, now and talk about Egypt and Assyria. Now talk about the Cush along with Egypt will be subdued to the God. Like the Egyptians, captives, and Cushites, exiles. And then chapter 21 talk about the prophecy against Babylon. Also did not say when, and just saying that what will happen is the messenger come to report Babylon is falling. So this is about chapter 21. I'm going to a part of chapter 21. I'm going to stop here, and I hope that you can read, interpret in your own way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.